Still have my name tag on. Just got home from Bible study. What is up? Hi, everyone. I'm in the middle of my day. As I said, I just got back from a Bible study and I'm getting some work done and I need to run some errands today. Sorry, you can hear that plane. It's super loud. Today marks the very first day I've ever filled up on a salad. And what I mean by that is anytime I've had a salad for lunch, I literally am like, well, I'm still hungry. I think I finally figured out the magic combo for a salad that actually fills me up. So, first of all, I've realized the best recipe for a salad uses a larger bowl because then you can actually mix it without like worrying about lettuce flying everywhere. I don't know why that's a pet peeve of mine, but it is. Secondly, I put chicken in it. This is like, I get like a 10 pack of these from Costco. Pre-cooked chicken. I actually pan fry it for literally a minute and then cut it up into even more bite-sized pieces. So I put that in the salad. I put these right here. Salad toppers. It's protein packed, so it's got edamame, cranberries, cashews, and sunflower seeds. First of all, this just tastes delicious, but I've been wanting to find more ways to get nuts in my diet, and seeds. This is perfect, and it's really good, and it was so much more filling. 7 grams of protein in 1/4 of a cup. And I put a boiled egg in there, like chopped up. I feel like the combo of the chicken, this salad topper, and the egg actually filled me up, and then all the greens with it was just a bonus. I am a honey mustard gal. I like honey mustard on my salad. I know one person's ready to comment, well, honey mustard isn't healthy. Yeah, I know, but you know what? I'm eating a salad. Proud of myself for getting the greens in anyway. So that was really important. I felt that I needed to share that because like I said, this is the first time I literally could not finish it. I was like, I'm full, I'm done. We are done here. So I need to run some errands. I have some returns to make at Target. We're really, really close to a trip to Disney. And usually when we're really close to one is when I start putting in random orders to like Target, like, oh, we need a rain jacket for one of the girls. And oh, we need XYZ. So now I have a collection of things we need to return, things that didn't fit, etc. So I need to do that. And I have a couple of other like returns I need to just send to UPS, to send off. And that's really the plan. I'm trying to get some work done. I'm actually planning right now my next 4 weeks of content. I usually do a couple weeks ahead of time, and I'm pre-filming a bit. You're seeing this probably while I'm in Disney. Trying to think. I'll probably be sharing our Disney shenanigans on our Disneyville podcast Instagram stories versus my just regular It's Jessica Braun Instagram stories, just because a lot of our Disney content is moving over to Disneyville, and so it just makes more sense. So if you're into that, definitely check out our Instagram. I also just added to my Amazon cart, I needed a new swimsuit for Felicity because she's in the next size. And I was also looking into like pull on, this is gonna sound so granny, okay. Pull on shorts, like with a drawstring. Let me show you what I mean. Like this. So I'll link these exact ones below. I'm gonna buy these and try them out. I just want comfier shorts when I'm around the house and not necessarily, well, I would wear these out too. So bonus points if I can do both, but just comfier ones that are for around the house, but they still feel like real clothes and not like workout shorts. That is what I'm on the hunt for. So I'm going to try these out and maybe another pair I will get back to you. So that is the plan, Diddly Ann. I was actually going to make Pinocchio. I'll make like his homemade dog food for him from time to time, and we'll mix it like half with dry food and half the homemade dog food. But I had bought 3 pounds of ground meat, and I think it's ground chicken that it calls for. It had gone bad. And it had gone so bad, like when you smell it and you're like, I think it's bad. And then you really smell it. And I literally was gagging. It was so gross. So that was a huge waste. I should have checked the date on the meat when I bought it, because we've only had it like 2 days, but I think it was just on that. I don't know. So I also need to go to the grocery store to get a couple of things, including that. So we'll see if that happens today or not. Those are the plans. It's also beautiful out, and really all I want to do is go hang out outside, but I got to get some stuff done. All right, just arrived at Target. I've got a whole bag of returns from various orders, like I said. Some of it was stuff that just didn't fit the girls. Some shoes I'd gotten them. Look how cute these are. Now I'm trying to remember. I think these were too big on Genevieve. Trying to find them sandals for the summer that are like actually comfy and don't like cut into their legs, So anyway, gonna return these. I do need to get a couple of groceries. We're just thinking through the dinners we have coming up. There are a few things we need that I couldn't find at at Kroger the other day. Hopefully I'll find here, like zucchini. We were out of puff pastry, which we use in a weird amount of recipes. I feel like I talk about puff pastry pizza all the time. That's what's for dinner tonight. Anyhow, so I'm gonna go do that and get a few groceries, and I also need to get Genevieve some like stretchy shorts for underdresses and stuff for the summer, because all of hers from last year are just too little. She's just growing. And I am not gonna get coffee at the Starbucks here because I do not need it. That is all. Keeping myself accountable. Okay, I'm in the dollar spot. Finding little things for the girls for some upcoming trips that I'll just kind of hide until the trip. This one doesn't really apply because it won't be a road trip, but road trip bingo, how cute. I always love finding little play packs that have like the little coloring book and stickers. We finally saw Wish the other day, so we were kind of excited. Yeah, so finding a few things there. I'm gonna hide them away, but love the dollar spot. But we've also entered the era where if I get one of them in, I gotta get the same thing for the other. Like, and it's gotta match or else. So zucchini is one of my favorite veggies to like have in different dishes, like cooked. I mean raw is fine, but cooked. And I was getting worried that like there's some kind of zucchini shortage, but they had plenty here. Quick little in-store grocery haul. At the beginning, this peanut butter for the girls, they don't really notice that there's not much sugar in it. And I also like it like on toast, so that's been working out great. Our favorite breakfast sausage. We needed some honey. We are a kiwi loving household. Milk, some of my favorite yogurt, zucchini in question. We're making some salmon and lentils in a few days, so I need some more lentils. Discovered that they have 90-second quinoa. How cool is that? For quick dinners, some eggs, random other things we needed. Not bad. In and out in 45 minutes, not bad. And I even grabbed my favorite thing to keep in the car, like middle console, are these. When you're driving a while and you're like hungry or you're just bored, dude, one of these mints, there's nothing better. Anyway, or maybe you just need a nice breath freshener. So heading home, that's all. So I wanted to thank Necessaire for sponsoring this part of the video. So this is a product from Necessaire that I have loved for years now. It is their The Body Serum. And I had a realization, I want to say a couple years ago, that I do so much work when it comes to skincare on my face, and I'm always making sure I do my routine, and maybe I'll bring it down the neck. But when it comes to the rest of my skin, I really don't give it as much love, right? And so as I age, my skin on my face is gonna look a certain way, and my body skin will look different. And so that's one reason why I started trying Necessaire's products in the first place on my own years ago. I love it because Necessaire's kind of mentality is that we should treat our body like our face. So I love that their body care products have facial grade skincare ingredients in them, but in a larger quantity, right? So the body serum I love. It is super hydrating. Plus it's infused with 5 molecular weights of pure hyaluronic acid. So it's gonna hydrate, it's gonna plump and replenish your skin. I will use this once I get out of the shower and I've towel dried. I will put this all over my body from like here down, and then I'll put my body lotion on top. I really like Necessaire's body lotion as well. It's a firming like peptide one. Another thing I will do is just mix this in with my body lotion, apply it that way if I'm more in a rush. So I love that there's kind of no excuse. I can make sure that I have the time to be taking care of my skin. I also like that it's a gel consistency. It blends in very, very quickly. And again, if you are mixing it with your moisturizer, it's even easier to apply. I just love this brand. I love the minimalistic kind of cute design, very aesthetically pleasing to me. I also love that they offer fragrance-free versions of their products, because for me, I've got more sensitive skin, so I tend to opt for fragrance-free options. So if you wanted to check out Necessaire's The Body Serum, you can go to necessaire.com and use code Jessica Braun for 10% off your order. I will have all of that information as well as how to spell Jessica Braun if you need it on the screen, but also down in a pinned comment and in the description box for you. Thank you so much, Necessaire, for supporting my channel and sponsoring this part of the video.
In all my glory, good morning. I am gonna make some quick little cinnamon rolls. I've made these, I think, twice before, and they were so good. And the only reason I was like looking for a crescent roll, cinnamon roll recipe was because we had like a few extra ones from a party a few months ago. And lo and behold, I ended up discovering a super delicious, super easy recipe. And now this is my favorite way to make cinnamon rolls. And honestly, I feel like it's easier than most of the recipes other than like you know, the kind you get ready-made. Anyway, so I'm gonna make this really fast. I'll link this recipe below. Honestly, the only reason I'm able to pull this off right now is because Felicity's still sleeping. Gigi's watching Gabby's dollhouse. So you roll them up, seam side down. It's brown sugar, super softened butter, and some cinnamon as the like innards. All right, we've got the frosting or icing, whatever you want to call it, made. It always explodes a little bit, but they, or I should say like melts out of it, but I wish you guys could smell how good this is. And then I'm gonna go ahead and ice one, even though you're supposed to wait till they cool a bit because the girls are wanting some now. So good. They may not look as appetizing. I don't know how they look to you guys, but these are like mouth-wateringly good. And I think the reason I like these better than regular cinnamon rolls is, you know how in cinnamon rolls, the ratio of bread to like filling is never right. It's too bready. The ratio is perfect. Me and Lissy just got back. She had a checkup for her 2-year appointment, which went well. You got a sticker. We love our pediatrician. Such a far cry from the experiences we've had, I will say, with previous pediatricians. I know some of you guys have been following us a long time and like have witnessed the journey, but so content. But anyway, we are just having kind of a chill day together. I need to get a few things done. Genevieve actually went with Tyler to the workspace today. So Tyler's working and she's hanging out there because we have some like toys and coloring stuff, and she doesn't get to go often. So she was super excited to go with him. And then we're just kind of having a mommy Lissy day. Yeah, I'm trying to think through some house projects because she'll go down for a nap here in a couple hours. She's walking around eating a boiled egg. She's loving it. I mean, in fairness, I was also walking around eating a boiled egg. No, Pinocchio, not for you. Anyway, it's a weird weather day too. Like it's been sunny, but then cloudy. And I think last we checked, it wasn't actually forecast to rain, but I don't know. Looks like it's gonna. Standing guard. Ralph, are you a good boy? All right, I'm gonna do a quick, just like 5-minute makeup routine. Lissy just laid down. It's like noon or, oh my gosh, it's after 1. But I was like, there are just these days where I can go through the whole day without wearing makeup, and I do that for my own sanity because a lot of times I'm like, I'm not leaving the house. Like I don't need to wear makeup, but also for my skin, just to give it a break. Since I do test out a lot of makeup, but there are days like this where I'm like, I actually do just want to put on some makeup, feel a little more put together. I need to change my shirt. I took her to the doctor this morning and she had something all over her hand and got it all over me. But anyway, so I wanted to share kind of my updated 5-minute, very fast makeup routine. I've been trying out this new Kosas Plump and Juicy Vegan Collagen Spray-On Serum. Let me make sure. I've only tried it like a couple times, but it just feels really good. It smells very floral though, but it's one of those things that just feels good to kind of like wake your skin up. So I've been enjoying that, but yeah, the smell is definitely, it does have some plant probiotics, soothing Artemisia flower extract, firming vegan collagen, and lifting and plumping peptides. So it says you could use it morning and night. But yeah, been enjoying this so far. You know, we'll see. And then on my lips, I just put on the Pharmacy Lip Smoothie Honey Vanilla Lip Balm. I have been loving this all week long since I got it. And I bought a new Age Perfect Serum Foundation from L'Oreal. I love this stuff so much. It's in the shade 15. I had used one up. And the shade 15 was the one I liked. But I feel like I was using this the other day and I'm like, can't tell. I'm like, is this not as good of a shade match as I thought, or has it just changed? I bought it on Amazon, and sometimes I'm like, oh, is it not gonna, maybe it's not the real deal, but as long as you're buying from like the store, like the L'Oreal store, it'll be the real deal as far as I've experienced it. But this is just one of those easy products that is so great for these kinds of days where I want coverage still. Like if I'm gonna take even 5 minutes to do makeup, I want my skin to look better than it did when I started. You know what I mean? And this does that for me. And it's still, I love the finish of it. It's really lightweight, but like I said, it still has a little bit of coverage. Yeah, I think this is a good shade for me. Feel like this camera I'm using the DJI Osmo 3, which I've been using in most of my vlogs lately, but it doesn't always, like my other camera works well in my bathroom lighting. This I feel like is not as good in this lighting. I don't know, so hopefully everything's coming across okay. So yeah, that is a go-to. It has been for years, and I'm really excited to finally have a fresh one of this. So highly recommend. And then if I'm doing a really quick routine, I'm just gonna use a potted concealer like this. This is the Glossier
stretch concealer. I need like a closer mirror. I went and grabbed this thinking perfect, it'll be like a mirror. No, there's no mirror. Hold on. Now I've got a mirror. So yeah, I just kind of get it on my finger and tap it in those areas. And this is one of those concealers that is so foolproof. I'd been hearing about it for years, and I remember trying it way back in the day when I liked really full coverage, and I was like, no, I hate it. I don't even know how I was applying it, but if you apply it just with your fingers and blend it in, it is flawless. If you have dry skin under there and you use this, it will look so nice. It's like the only concealer type, like this, the Bobbi Brown one and the Charlotte Tilbury one are all so wonderful, and they blend in so easily and make your skin look nicer than maybe it is. And obviously, like when I'm getting ready, I'll sit at my vanity, but if it's a quick 5-minute routine, I'll just grab a couple products and bring them in here. Just stand and do it, honestly. I used to keep some of my makeup in here for exactly this purpose when Genevieve was younger, but I don't know. Now I've got the drawer filled with other stuff. I'm like, I don't think I could do that. So I always brush something through my brows. This is the new product from Benefit, the Precisely My Brow Wax in the shade 4, but I have to wipe this spoolie off before I go in because it definitely can pack a punch. But I like it. It's just waxy enough. Got good, maybe too good of pigmentation. And then most days I'm not wearing eyeshadow, so I'll just grab some kind of powder and just kind of set my eye area because I just feel like it makes it look a little more even. Bonus points, I'll use a powder foundation to have just a little bit of coverage. But this is the M Cosmetics one. I've had this for a few months now. The Portrait Mode Setting Powder in Sheer. 1,000 out of 10 in packaging, which is exactly what I was the most excited about. But it's a nice finishing powder. Kind of reminds me of the Kosas one. It's very lightweight. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I will probably use it to set my T-zone in a second. So, no eyeshadow, but I usually do use a little bit of eyeliner and just smudge it out a little bit. And honestly, if I'm really in a hurry, I'm just not gonna smudge it, but I think I'm gonna because I do think it makes a difference. Sorry, I know you guys can't see this, but I gotta be like right up on the mirror to be able to do this. It's an up close, two-handed job. So yeah, I just kind of smudged it out a bit. I just think that looks so nice. So I know I mentioned earlier, like, is it gonna storm? Is it not? It totally is raining. And literally as it was starting to rain, we're both looking at our weather app and like looking through the hourly and precipitation chance and 0%. Obviously I know that happens, but still, like usually you'd think, okay, now it actually is raining. You guys should like adjust this. I don't know. How's that work? I mentioned in a Instagram story a few weeks ago that Genevieve told me the other day. She was talking about a kid in her class and she was like, yeah, so-and-so's mom is fancy. And I was like, oh, why is she so, what makes her so fancy? She said she always comes in real clothes and makeup. I was like, oh. And I'm kind of quiet for a while and I'm thinking and I'm like, am I fancy? She said, sometimes. Like, yeah, she said, but most of the time when you get me, you're not. Yeah. It just made me laugh. I'm like, girl, if you had any idea that like I'm giving my skin a break from makeup, you know what I mean? It's just as funny, but I'm always incredulous, like early in the morning, seeing women that are like so done and ready. And, you know, obviously it could be that they're ready because they're going to work. Like obviously I work from home and I know some of you guys do too, or you're a stay-at-home mom. So when you're doing like a drop off at a school or something, you're going back home to either finish getting ready or whatever. So I'm doing the bare minimum. I'm brushing my teeth, deodorizing, making sure I've got fresh clothes on, and that is the minimum. Lip balm, and then coffee, of course. So, you know, kudos to you if you are getting up early and getting ready because you've got to move on to the next thing, or if you're just getting ready because you want to be ready for the day, and then you're going home anyway. It would be kind of nice if I got up earlier than the kids more often, but I'm just like, we're in an era of our lives with young kids where we're like, we will take all of the sleep we can get. All of it. So like the idea of waking up early on purpose is wild to me at this stage. Like I think one day I will because, I don't know. Well, maybe not because when she starts kindergarten, she'll be up really, really early. But anyway, I'm just talking around in circles. But I love the idea of like getting up at 5 a.m. and doing all that. But I also know my reality and how important sleep is for my mental health, my physical health. I mean, all of our mental and physical health. So never say never, but I don't know. I feel like that took a little longer than it should have. But so this is, if I like that, this is typically where I stop. I am going to set my face a little bit because it just needs it. I'm going to use that same M Cosmetics. But if I have a little extra time, I'll throw on bronzer and blush, or at least blush. So I'm playing with this Physicians Formula Diamond Bronzer. Amy Lynn here on YouTube recommended it to me, and I was like, okay, because she and I tend to like a lot of similar like bronzery products, and I'm really liking it so far. It's very much like my kind of bronzer shade where it's close to my skin tone. I feel like the lighting from the windows, you can kind of see it. But it's a cream for sure, but it has, again, kind of a transparency to it, so it's not so like stark. When you're applying it, it kind of blends in easily. So if you were looking for a good drugstore bronzer that's not too pigmented, I am really liking this. It definitely has like kind of, do you see that? Like, I want to say glow, but it's not shimmer. It's just like you may want to set it if you know what I mean? Because it does have that like more wet look, but it's so pretty in person, you guys. So I'm just gonna kind of tamp it down a little bit, and then I'll probably just throw a setting powder over all of this. And then I'm still using the Nude Sticks Nude Screen Blush Tint in Pink Sunrise. I've just been tapping it on with my finger. Because again, similar vibe where it's, you almost can't go too crazy with this, and I love that. It's so easy. What is on my finger? Today I got an email that I need to schedule Gigi's screening for kindergarten, which is crazy. As far as I know, I mean, I've never done this, and when I was teaching the older grades, so I wasn't a part of the kindergarten world. But I think they just basically kind of see where your kid is at, what they've got coming into the school, what they're gonna be working with, etc. You guys let me know, like how else, what should I expect with the kindergarten screening? Because I really don't know. But it just gave me heart palpitations because I was like, oh my gosh, like, it's really getting real now. Like my little one is gonna be going, oh, it's just crazy. I'm so excited for her though, and she is so excited. So, okay, that's it. I don't typically put anything on my lips. I mean, maybe a gloss if I'm leaving the house, but it's usually just the lip balm I leave on, and that is pretty much the routine. That was definitely more than 5 minutes. I can see I've been talking for like 13, but you get the idea. Let me know, like, what are your go-to products when you are doing one of these fast face routines? Like, what are the steps you always do when you do it? Which ones do you cut? But then also, yeah, what are those products that you feel like are so good at being quick and easy to use? All right, onward with our day. I wanted to sit and have a chat because I realized there are like 4 or 5 books I've recently read that I have not shared with you guys, kind of my thoughts. So let's do a quick little book chat. So I'll link the video below, the last vlog where I talked about some books I'd read recently, basically at the beginning of the year. So we're continuing on from there. I think I left off where I hadn't quite finished Lessons in Chemistry yet. Finished it, loved it. I think I went into it a little bit more in the other video, so if you want to hear my thoughts on that, but it was a good one. It was our first, a little book club I have with some girlfriends. That was our first book for that. And I think it was a really good book club book because it led to a lot of really great discussions. But let's talk about the next book I read, which was Paris, the Memoir. So this is Paris Hilton's memoir so far in her life. Okay, I will say this. I honestly was like, I'm kind of intrigued because like I grew up knowing Paris Hilton as this heiress who, how did that say it sound weird? Heiress, yeah. Who obviously grew up with a lot of money, and like to me, she seemed like, she was a party girl. Like we all kind of saw the same things. I was like, what could her memoir possibly be about? But I was curious enough, and it was available at the library. It all worked out. I ended up listening to most of it in the end, and I have to say the first like 10 or 15% of the book, I was just like, I gotta stop. Like I can't read, because there were certain parts where I'm assuming she had a ghostwriter help her write it, and she was reading the audiobook. They would have her say like, yeah, slay. And yes, I understand Paris Hilton and her brand and the way she talks. I don't have any problem with that. It is what it is. But just the way it was written, it sounded, as she was reading it, it sounded awkward. Almost as if she felt awkward reading it. And so I guess my point is it felt almost forced. And it was just like, okay, is this how the whole book's gonna be? Like, anyway, no. The book very quickly takes a huge turn. she doesn't say any of that, doesn't talk like that anymore throughout the book, and goes through some pretty wild things she's gone through in her life, you know, completely unrelated to fame or like being a party girl, whatever you want to dub her. I feel like party girl sounds silly, but things that I just had no idea. And it was all stuff really before she was super famous. And it's, I mean, like trigger warning galore for a lot of different things. And I'm not going to get into the specific things here, but I definitely walked away from reading that book with a very different viewpoint on Paris Hilton. So, you know, if you're a little intrigued, I think the book is pretty interesting. It makes me really sad for some of the stuff she went through. So yeah, I would say I put 3.75 stars. I think many people would find it interesting, but it is kind of, there's some very heavy parts. I talked about Iron Flame already as well in a recent video I'll link below. That was the second book in the Fourth Wing series. I really liked it. If you want to hear more, I'll link that video. So then I also read, our next book in our book club was None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. And I was the one that suggested this book for our book club. And the reason I suggested it is because I was watching an Instagram reel of someone doing silent book reviews, just like with her facial expressions. And when she held this book up, all she did was, I'm going to butcher it, but she held the book up and just went, doing something to my teeth. I feel like I do. Anyway, that reaction of like, what? It just made me laugh so hard, and it definitely intrigued me. And so we just finished it up. Wow. Again, really heavy stuff. Like, I don't think this is a good read for everyone, but it was certainly intriguing beginning to end. This is one of those books that the moment I started it, I was hooked and could not put it down. So it became a quick read in the end because I didn't want to stop reading it. So if you are into psychological thrillers, I really liked that one. I feel like take my opinion on a psychological thriller with a grain of salt because I have not read a lot of them. I feel like if I had read a lot of them, my viewpoint, I'd be grading more on a curve. You know what I mean? Like I'd have an idea, but I really liked it. So I definitely want to read the Housemaid series. Someone in my family was just texting me and recommending that one. So that is moved up on my list when it comes to like psychological thrillers. Okay, a random book I just finished. I read this one in like a couple nights, was 4 Seasons in Rome, on twins, insomnia, and the biggest funeral in the history of the world. So it was written by Anthony Doerr, who wrote Cloud Cuckoo Land and All the Light We Cannot See. Is that right? Yeah. I've read Cloud Cuckoo Land, and I remembered it being longer than I thought, and for whatever reason, it just felt like drudgery to read. Like parts of it I really enjoyed, but I couldn't even tell you now what it was about. It was just one of those books that by the end of it, I was like, okay. I loved this book though. It was basically a short memoir of a year that he and his wife moved to Rome with their baby twins, their twin babies. And so for me, I think I was just the right niche for this. I have been to Rome and we're planning to go again soon. So I was curious about the Rome side of it. Then I have traveled to Europe with a very, not a that young baby, but with a toddler. And so I kind of know the like tribulations of being in another country with a young kid. So I was interested in that. I think if none of that pertains to you, I don't know that you'd find this book interesting. I mean, parts of it were, he talks about things that were going on in Rome while they were there too, like Pope John Paul, Pope, I think it was Pope John Paul II had died. So it was just interesting. And I really like his writing style. So now it makes me want to go back to Cloud Cuckoo Land and look at it and figure out, I really like his imagery. Like he was really great at describing just the vibe of something. And you could just picture it so beautifully. And I like the way he thinks. Like anytime, this is one of those books I had so many highlights because there were so many things that I just thought was so beautiful the way he looked at life or the way he looked at things. So it definitely made me want to read All the Light We Cannot See, which I think is a World War II or World War I book. I actually don't know, but I know it's focused on one of them. And I think he was in Rome working on it. Like he was there as a fellow or like with a fellowship of some kind. Yeah, I spent way longer talking about that book than I expected. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Don't think it's for everyone. I don't know. It's a short read though. Right now I'm reading The Alchemist, which again is a really short book that I've heard a lot of people, like a lot of celebrities are like, that's like their like everyone should read this book. I'm very curious as to why. I'm like a third of the way through it, and it's not gripping. I don't think the story is gripping. I don't know that it's necessarily meant to be, but I can kind of see where it's maybe going. So I'll let you know in the next little book review chat. And then I'm currently listening to What Happened to You, which is a book about like trauma. Oprah Winfrey and a doctor, his name is slipping from my mind, but wrote it together, and it's really, really interesting so far. So that is that. Oh, the other thing. So, okay, to share some details, we're going to a wedding in Europe this summer. We're taking the girls. We've got other family going. I think I might have talked about this either earlier in this vlog or in another video. It's starting to run together. Anyway, so I bought some dresses from Lulu's, trying to figure out what am I going to wear, because the wedding portion of this is black tie. And I've really only gone to like 1 or 2 other black tie formal weddings, and I never really loved what I wore. So I wanted to go with like a dark dress. I was thinking black, but this one from Lulu's, I liked that it was simple. Like, I mean, like almost too simple, but I kind of loved that. It felt flattering, and it's highly packable. There's no tulle or anything like embellishments that's gonna get all messed up when I'm traveling across the country with it. So this is the one I'm leaning towards. I'm like, is it almost too simple? But I'm like, Jessica, the day is not about you, A. And B, this is one of those dresses that I could use for other events. You know what I mean? It's a very simple black cocktail dress. So I guess my thing is it felt very classic and very timeless. And Lulu's dresses, I mean, it depends, but a lot of them are between like $100 and $120. Some of them are less. I kept a few others. I want to try these on for Tyler and then decide. I love this color, and I thought this was really pretty and classic as well. So this is one I'm considering. I think I could pack it. All of these are floor length, but is this the one that had the slit? No, maybe it's not. So the one thing I really like about Lulu's is you have like 21 days. So I ordered way more dresses than I would ever keep, so that I could try them on. Hi, buddy. And then kind of decide from there what I want to keep. The only other one I'm thinking about is this velvet one. Again, similar vibe, but it's a summer wedding, so I'm kind of ruling out the velvet because I'm like, it just doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? Yeah, and there's maybe 1 or 2 others. So I've tried them on for myself. There's a bunch I'm returning, but I want to try them on for Tyler, kind of get his thoughts on them, and he can help me think through things I'm not thinking through when it comes to travel, like, will we have access to an iron? Is whatever I'm bringing ironable? Would I want to consider bringing a steamer? Like, you know, all those little things that I might want to think about. So let me know if you have any recommendations for places you buy like a decent evening gown, if you will. I really have been struggling with this. I was talking to my hairdresser actually the other day, and I was like, where do you even buy dresses? Like, why do I not know where to find it? Because I'm like, back in the day, I would just go to like Macy's, and I'm like, I could still do that, but I don't know. Maybe I should consider doing that and actually trying them in person. But like I said, I have a feeling I'm going to go through all this work and end up settling for the classic, easy black dress. You know? Anyway, so let me know where you shop. Anyway, I'm going to end this vlog here. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you again to Necessaire for sponsoring a part of this video. Again, if you want to check out their body serum or any of my other favorites from Necessaire, you can get 10% off by using my code jessicabraun at necessaire.com. I'll have the link, code, information down in the description box and in a pinned comment for you if you are ready to try it out. I promise you will love it. The body serum is just on repeat. Like when I run out, I buy it again, and I'm keeping that train rolling. If you enjoyed this vlog, I hope that you will give it a thumbs up. Give me a comment below. What do you like seeing in vlogs? Like, what kind of content are you into? Are you into when I share recipes? Are you into the makeup stuff? Are you into the book chats, clothing? Like, I'm just kind of curious. What parts of it do you hope I include in vlogs? And I can try to include those kinds of things more often. I hope you subscribe. I'll have my vlogs playlist if you want to see if you missed one here or there. I've been kind of vlog heavy lately, so if you're into them, definitely see. You might have missed one. And I feel like YouTube's algorithm's a little funky right now, and not everything's, I know it's going to the subscription feed, but I just feel like sometimes it's glitchy. I don't know. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.